here, they'll be able to listen back on it. Hold on 1 second. So everybody know the call is being recorded.
Conference recording started.
Grace first. Greetings, family. Open up with one God.
One God.
One aim.
One aim.
One destiny.
One destiny.
I want to thank everybody for coming on. And we have this responsibility as UNIA president to, in the 100th year of our government and the Declaration of Rights and the first Negro Peoples of the World Convention coming up next month. As presidents, we have to put on something. We can't just stand on the sideline and let people who are not UNIA celebrate our 100th when they don't have the proper schooling from being in the UNIA. So this is an effort that we should lead. But let me back it up first and then share with everybody how we got to this point. It was last week, Wednesday, on the president's call with the HEC, and Second Assistant President General, Brother Raymond Duguay, had announced that the convention, our convention and HEC got rescheduled next year. And then after he asked, does anybody have any ideas on what we should do to celebrate next August, being the 100th year of the RBG and everything else? I said that we should have an online gathering with Zoom where we all can come together and celebrate this time. But he had said that he wasn't really too much with the Zoom, so he had suggested instead we do a Zoom for us to celebrate in our own jurisdictions, the 100th year. So the next day, we're still faced here in Division 421. Each year we have Marcus Garvey Day. And because of the COVID now really shoot up in Georgia higher than New York and Chicago and everything else, we've gone back to stage one where everything's on the lockdown and everybody has a stay-at-home order here in the city of Atlanta because of the new cases. So the ancestors that told me said, well, let's do Marcus Garvey Day online this year because the date that we have scheduled is Saturday, August 15th. And not only that, but the ancestors said that the theme should be for the 100th year, and we got to discuss this. So everything I'm just sharing, putting on the table, just getting everybody up to speed, but this is open to all of us to chime in once I finish this little presentation, open it, see where we stand, and see if we can all get on the same page and doing something for the 100th anniversary next month. So the theme that the ancestors said that we should put forward, and it's just a suggestion, is Garveyites, can we unite? And to have a program around that energy. Garveyites, can we unite? And the vision of the program is like it was a 12-hour program where it will be hosted by each of the divisions. Will get an hour or two to host the program from their city and their state, and bring forward whatever they'd like to bring forward from their division for the 100th anniversary. And once I talked to President Clyde about it a few days ago, it changed from 12 hours to 24 hours. So first, I talked to President Clyde. He said that we got to make sure the divisions Africa have a chance to host, so we got to do it 24 hours. So that's how it became 24 hours. But the vision for this day is speakers, poets, and everything. And we created speakers, presenters, drummers, mic, and everything. Let me share my screen so everybody can see. And everyone should know that the second vice president for UNIA Division 421 is also with us, but he's on the conference line. Brother John, can you hear me? Brother John, you can hear us on the conference line? Okay, but I just want to let everybody know that he's here with us too. So what we did is let me know if you can hear us, brother.
I'm here, President Lash.
Okay, so this is Second Vice President, Brother John, and he's on the conference line, and he's here with us. Just want to let everybody know. So we kind of drafted up a little draft flyer because with Division 421, anytime we have an event, we have to have the flyer created a month in advance, minimum, for the program to be successful. since today is the 13th of July, a month, August 15th is a month and 2 days away. So this is the kind of energy that we're thinking about on Saturday. If everybody could see the Zoom, see the picture on the Zoom, my screen. Saturday, August 15th, 2020, Marcus Garvey Day. Theme, Garveyites can we unite? So this is what we was doing from 421. But the ancestors said because we're doing it on Zoom, we shouldn't just stick to 421, but we should extend it and see if we as division presidents can put together something, a program for the 100th year. And on the left, you'll see it says 100-year celebration of the first Negro peoples of the world convention, 100-year celebration of the red, black, and green. We can have special guests, we can have performers, presenters, drummers, music, and two main keys of the program is education for those who are not familiar with the UNIA and those who don't know about. Everybody knows about Garvey, everybody knows about the red, black, and green, but the majority of the people who know about Garvey and know about the red, black, and green, they can't tell you nothing about the UNIA. And the ultimate goal behind it is the recruitment of members and a goal of 100 new members, active members for each division. And to get the Black Government ID, HEC had OK 421 to make sure that everybody gets their ID. And all division presidents and lady presidents, make sure you get in touch with me so I can get you information so I can send you your ID. So we're celebrating the plebiscite, the Declaration of Rights, the Constitution, and our Independence Day, August 31st, which is also known as International African Independence Day. So I wanted to bring it to everybody and to see what everybody thought about it and see if we can get all on the same page with it. And see if this is something that we can do. Because what's going to happen if we don't do this as UNIA within a week time, by the end of this week, you're going to see flyers on Facebook where people celebrating the 100th year of the RBG, and those people ain't UNIA people. They ain't represented, they're doing this for themselves. And I already even seen the event that's happening for the 100th year, and they're charging $0 to $50 to partake. The $0 is only to be at the opening reception. But in other words, they're already profiting off what we should be receiving each division. So I'm going to stop right there, and we'll go around the circle and give everybody a chance. But basically, we want what 421 is trying to do. We want this to be not a 421 program, but a program that's presented by all of us as division presidents. And if it's going to be that way, it's going to be important that everybody inputs, and we all input, so that we can have the best program possible. So how we do things with 421, we always bring the sisters forward first, let them share. So I'm going to give the mic to President Jasmine of UNIA Division 432 in Queens, New York, to see what you'd like to share. And by the way, our executive secretary for UNIA Division 421 is here in the office with me. She's not on camera, but she's here too, our executive secretary. Greetings. Sister Felicia, yes.
Okay, raise first of all. President Marvin, this is a fantastic idea. And I know that we were placed with a charge to do things for our divisions. And you have August 15th, you know, which is good because we have something planned for the 16th and also for the 17th. But for the 15th, now that I'm looking at what, you know, what in terms of celebration, the division 432, you know, you can put us in for a slot, as I said before, for probably around 10 o'clock, 9, 10, to host it for 9, let me see, 9, about 10 to 11 o'clock. We could host a program for that time. I'm just going to speak with my event planning team, you know, to see what we could come together and put there. So I'm in total agreement, and you know, we can put something together for that.
Excellent, excellent. And I want you to know, President Jasmine, that there's nothing written in stone right now. And even up to the week before, the day before, you can switch around the times. We want to get a schedule together for that day, but don't feel like you have to, the time you have to lock in right now. So if you find out that 9 a.m. is better a week or a day before, or 10 a.m. is better, because we're the ones who's doing it, we have the possibility, we have the power to change things around so it works for everybody.
Okay, understood,
All right.
understood, yes.
And
Yes.
definitely we're going to need input and suggestions from 432 on how we can make the best program ever. The ultimate goal behind the scenes is recruitment of new members and active members in education and so on. You know.
Yeah. My
let's
question is,
go ahead.
Tom, my question is, so the this will be open up to how many slots will we have in terms of participants that will be online to go into Zoom? Is it open up to like 200 people? How many people?
Currently, we have the service that gives us 100 people, but we checked on how much it would be for 1,000 people. So we'll be by August 1st, we'd have it updated so we can hold about 1,000 people on the call that day.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Brother Raz.
Okay. Let's keep on with the sisters because
Yes,
I hear
Sister
another
Rochelle.
sister holler at me.
No, this is Rochelle.
Yes, go ahead, Sister Rochelle. Come on
I
in.
have a quick question regarding the ID. Can you elaborate a little more on that so we can share that with our members as well as to the ID that you were.
Exactly.
Does that entail?
This is something that we've been doing from Division 421 for the last 4 or 5 years. And it's one of our members who had suggested us do it. And what the idea is about the Black Government ID is that, well, 4 or 5 years ago in our division, we was thinking about, we was not thinking, but we were saying that we got to give our members membership card for the UNIA. And one of our members said, instead of we giving membership cards to the members, why don't we just give out the Black Government ID because we're a government? And I said, yes. So this brother, he knew all the, he's technologically connected, and he set up the whole thing for us. And so he ordered the Black Government ID machine, the program, so that it will talk to the computer and everything. And that's how we started it about 4 or 5 years ago. And I'm going to share on the screen the 100-year Black Government ID, and he's the one who designed it. He does our graphics and everything, and he's most of the graphics for 421. He's the one who does it. But let me share with you what it looked like. If you can see on my screen, this is one that went out to one of our members yesterday. They came to the office and picked it up. So you can see what the Black Government ID is. It's official ID, Sister Rochelle, and you can use it for any purpose that you need identification for. The only 2 things that you cannot use it for is a driver's license and a passport. But other than that, you can use it for anything that you need identification for. Members have used it for, we use it here in 421 when we opened our bank account as a second form of ID. They wanted our state ID and another ID. So we used our Black Government ID to open up our bank account. A lot of members have called us, about 3 members called us when they was traveling internationally, and they were at customs, and customs wanted, one member didn't have their, couldn't find their license. So they showed them their Black Government ID, and customs had gone through. And there's another member that was coming from the Virgin Islands who had the same situation, and when they showed them Black Government ID, customs let them come through. So this is official ID, and it's our human rights because we consider ourselves to be conscious in this time as African people, but yet still our identification is given to us by alien race. That means that we're not exercising our human rights because it's the people's human right to give their own people identification. And because our ancestors already created the government, we don't have to create the government. We just have to build the government through these type of programs, issuing IDs to all Africans who are active members. So that's a little bit about the Black Government ID, and you can see what it looks like.
Okay, so with this ID now, with the information here, I see the sister here is from Georgia. So then that will be specific to the department, the division that these members are assigned. And is this something, how do you keep track? Is this something that you check with the presidents of these divisions on an annual basis as to if the person is still an active member in good standing to renew the ID?
There's an expiration date on it.
Yeah, there's an expiration date, 2021. So it's only for a year, it looks like. So how do you actually keep track of this, and how does it work? Is this a fee that is charged So,
So you can see the IDs are division specific. So on the screen now, if you can see my screen, this is the ID for division 401.
Right.
Okay. And this is our Secretary General's ID, and we sent it out in the mail last week, so she should receive it tomorrow. So yes, the division IDs are divisions. The IDs are division specific.
okay.
So whatever the name of your division, and it will have your city and so on. And the cost of the ID for the first time is $20 because the parent body had suggested it to be $20, so that way $5 go to the division that got the member to get the ID, $5 go to the HEC, and the other $10 go to 421 for processing the ID.
Okay.
So it's supposed to use as a fundraiser for the divisions and for the HEC and so on. And but the renewal, like if you got your ID last year and you paid $20, this year the renewal is only $10 fee for the ID.
Okay.
And this is separate from your dues. It's not dues money. But what we did in 421, before 2020, we gave our members the IDs as part of their membership. When they paid their dues, they got an ID, Constitution, everything. And that's what we did here from 421. But what happened is that we had to get a new ID machine. So now we had to start charging because we kind of borrowed to get the ID machine, and we have to pay back the money.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Russ Marvin, Minside 407. Two things.
Okay, President
I have
Mensah,
I have an ID.
As you're talking, I'm going to show you your ID that we sent to Secretary General.
I got it. Oh, for the Treasury Zone?
Yeah,
I got my
here.
ID in my hand right now.
Is that the same ID that's on the screen right now?
It's a little different. The one that's on the screen, I know
you
it's
have last year's ID. That's last year's ID. This is the new 100-year anniversary ID.
Okay,
and
so
you
I
see
need
your
to do
ID,
this, right?
This is what we sent to Secretary General. She has your ID, and she said that she'll send it to everybody.
Secretary, you don't have mine?
Yeah, she has yours. We sent it to the mail.
Okay.
We sent it out in the mail on Thursday, and they said it will reach Monday or Tuesday.
And one last thing. The sisters that you sent on the 407, Matu, you know, Sister Matu,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know how I can contact her. She not hardly never miss a meeting, and she missed about the last 3 meetings, and I don't know what has happened. If there's any way you can get in contact with her, tell her to call me. Another thing, she told me that she used her ID to travel with, but you said we can't do that?
Exactly. She uses her, because she came from 421, and she had her ID from 421. So she uses it for travel, and she uses it for any purpose that she needs to use it. And we can do that. The reason what makes our ID official that we issue is because it has our picture, our birth name, and our birth date. The date of birth. That's what makes it official, our Black government ID.
I see.
Because if it didn't have our date of birth on it, it wouldn't be official.
I see. Okay.
But with Sister Matu, her phone number's off because I tried to reach her myself and I can't get to her. But give her a month or so and she'll get her number back, and then she'll be back in touch with us.
All right.
Okay, let's continue with the sisters. Sister Rochelle, did you have anything else that you wanted to comment upon what we're talking about? And then we'll go to the brothers.
You pretty much covered everything. And Sister Jasmine gave you information as to what we're doing, but I too believe it's an excellent idea. I think that we really need to get it out there so we have the support of the other divisions and get the ball rolling. So I'm in total agreement with it, Brother Russ. Brilliant idea.
Excellent. And the flyer that I showed was just a draft, so at least we can get the word out there. But as time getting nearer, or anybody who has the graphics person amongst us, we want to put out a more specific flyer, and that even come up with a schedule once we get the schedule, because we're going to have to meet definitely a couple more times, probably once a week, until we get everything tight, because it's only a month away. So we want to get everything set from early. But let's go to the
may I ask a quick question before you move on to the
Yes.
brothers? And I can't see you anymore. I'm not sure if the camera is shifted, but I'm just seeing the.
Yeah, I'm here.
There you go.
Yeah, I
So,
shifted because sometimes I take it off of me.
Okay. Regarding the international divisions, have you gotten in touch with anyone, or have you spoken to High Commissioner Rosemary James in order to spread the word and get them involved as well, and schedule slots for them? How are you planning on getting that done?
Good question. As far as the international division, the only president that I spoke with directly so far is President Haru in Jamaica. I think that's Division 438 in Jamaica, or 439. I spoke with him, and I also sent him the link for this meeting. And with the presidents in Africa, I don't have direct communication with them, contact as far as phone number. So what I did, I put this meeting announcement in the division presidents group. So hopefully that will get to all the presidents in Africa. But yes, they got to be part of it because, when it might be 2 o'clock in the morning here, it might be 8, 9 o'clock in the morning there. So that would be a good time to feature the divisions from Africa to host the program so that we have a full 24-hour program, as President Clyde had mentioned, so all divisions can be part of the hosting of it,
Yeah, well, I think it's absolutely important because some of the divisions, they're very active and they're doing quite a bit of stuff, and that information will be wonderful to share. So my suggestion would be, instead of having it posted just to the site for the division presidents, because they may or may not have access to that, is it possible to reach out to Sister Rosemary, because she has all their contact information, and perhaps, I don't know if she wants to send it to them directly or provide you with information, but it would be a great idea to get them on board.
Exactly. Well, what we're going to need is that all of us who's here, we're going to have to contact the division presidents that we have contact with and share this information with them so that we get as much divisions on board as possible. So that's very, very vital, because we want to make sure that all divisions have a voice and it's a unified effort. We'll start with our elder in the circle, President Mensah, Division 407. President Mensah, what would you like to add as far as what you heard?
Well, one thing about Division 407, when we meet on the 19th, as I mentioned, we have a Marcus Garvey Park over here that we've been doing a few things in for about the last 6 years. And I was mentioning to the body for us to do something on the park at the Marcus Garvey Park for 2 reasons. One is because on Marcus Garvey's birthday, as you say, everybody's going to be trying to celebrate something. But we want to try to get started a little early to announce that we will be having something over there. I talked with Brother Rue, who's the State Commissioner of Chicago Division, and I told him that we would not be successful at the period of time and see that would be coming off, then perhaps we will visit Chicago for the parade that they're having in Chicago. However, I would much rather try to do something in Detroit. Now, what I've heard is that this is going to be like a 3-day thing from the 15th to the 16th and the 17th. Is that not right?
No, this thing, what I mentioned is the 15th, but President Jasmine was sharing what they're doing on the 16th and the 17th locally.
I see. So this
is not a 3-day program. This year, what I mentioned is just a 1-day program for 24 hours.
24 hours on Garvey's birthday for the centennial, right?
Not for Garvey's birthday. It's going to be on Saturday, August 15th. Let me share the flyer again so you can see it, what it says. Can you see the screen?
Yeah, I see it now.
Right. So we're thinking about each division will have a time during that 24 hour to host a program from their city. And if all of our divisions get the word out in our jurisdiction and get it out in social media, a lot of people are going to come to it because this is the 100th year and we'll have a great opportunity to recruit members. And Division 421 have a system. Well, we went to online membership, and we can have this set up for all the divisions well before the program, if this is something that we want to do, because in order to get, our goal is for each division to get 100 new active members. And in order for us to do that, we have to do it through online means. So I'm going to put in the chat. I'm going to, I'll just, instead of putting in the chat, I'll share it on the screen, Division 421 online membership form, so everybody can see what it looked like. And to do it for other divisions is just a simple change. And what that simple change is that we'll have, instead of, this one that I'm going to show you now is created specifically for 421. But what I can do, this is our online membership form for those who are on the Zoom can see it. So what we can do is we can add a section that has the different cities and states. So it's the same membership application that we got from the HEC and we've been using, but it's just converted to be digital. Okay, and also 421, we have 46 offices, so we added our 46 offices. When somebody fills this out, when somebody fills it out, and it has the instructions, they pay their joining fee first and they follow these instructions, but it'll be simple to create this so that any of our divisions, people can join, because whatever city the person signing up from, their application would go to that city's division. So if somebody joined online from New York, the application would go to the New York division. Somebody joined online from Chicago or from Indianapolis, their application would go to the nearest division. And we have it set up so that once somebody fills out the application, the joining fee, I'm just doing this here so you can see what happens once they hit submit. Once they hit submit, submit. Okay, they want me to fill out, why do I want to join the UNIA? Okay, fill out that. So to bypass anything on the form, you just put a number or a character inside of it. Okay, they want me to fill out the skills, so I fill out that, and then I hit submit. So once somebody fills out this application online, because we'll be pushing it all day at this program for people to join the UNIA division, because this is the best way for them to respect the RBG. If they really love the RBG, they'll give $3 a month to their division. So once somebody fills out our online membership form, it takes them to the payment page. And we have $4 a month because $1 for 10 months goes to their assessment. Or they could just pay for the year. But I'll be able to set this up so that in a separate payment plan, so that when somebody joins and they're from Detroit, those funds there will be able to be sent to the Detroit division, and we can set up a process so that now their funds will be paid monthly from the Detroit division. In other words, for us to get the 100 members, we got to, for each division, we got to have an online system to make it happen. And I can create it where a generic one, and it just said join UNIA in whatever city you're in, your application goes to that city. So this is an important component for that day, because it's about the recruitment.
I see. Well, one of the reasons why I was going to suggest the membership for having something at the Marcus Garvey Park, because we have had events there, you know, throughout different years. However, this particular time, we want to announce that Ford Motor Company. So we've been trying to get a stadium built on that park for about the last 6 or 7 years with no success. And I got a call from a brother who is president of the 10th Clergy. And they have a 501c3. And so they're getting ready to put a stadium on the Marcus Garvey Park. And so it is going to happen. I've been given a few names to get in contact with a few people that's affiliated with Ford Motor Company. Because Ford Motor Company is the one that's going to build the park. But I wanted to make sure that people in the city of Detroit know this, and hopefully also use that as a tool for getting new members. Now, the park is a big park. It has about 11-foot bricks all the way around the park. Our division has painted all those bricks red, black, and green all the way around the park. And as I said, we have done things on the park in past years. So hopefully we can do something on Garvey's birthday and get the word out that there is going to be a stadium built in Marcus Garvey Park, and also try to use that to gain new members as well.
Well, we'll be able to help with that from 421, President Mensa. We'll be able to help get out the word because, you know, we have the division page for 421 up at the CBPM website, and we'll be able to get this information on the Detroit division page. Let me share with everybody my screen so everybody can see Detroit's division 407 page at the CBPM website. And President Jasmine, I need to update the Queens division page with your information. So definitely holler at me anytime during this week.
Say
that again?
Has been going to Brother Raymond.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So we need to definitely update your
Yes.
page. I think I might have put your name on it.
Okay.
Let me just check real quick. I was doing that yesterday when I was trying to get in touch with you. Let's just check and see if I had put your name up. Okay, it still says Raymond. Okay, so that's why I was getting in contact with you.
And it has Sister Delale also. So you have the yeah, so that is old information.
Exactly. So we got to update that. And everything I share with everybody, please pass it on to the other divisions in Africa and everything. Everybody gets a page at the CBPM website, and that's something that 421 does. We host everybody page because before our current administration, our parent body site wasn't really working properly. So we had to do this so that way we don't get left behind in the technology age. Okay. Thank you, President Mensa. And
Appreciate it. Mm-hmm.
So for the program on the 19th you have it in July, if you can send me a JPEG so that we can help promote it from this side, that would be great. Okay, let's go to President Clyde Banks, Division 429 in Chicago. President Clyde?
Okay, thank you, President Ross Marvin. One point is about the 24-hour marathon.
Yeah.
I don't think I said that.
You did, President Clyde. When we talked before you went
was, rather than starting
wasn't in your right
noon
mind.
and going to midnight, that we start at 9 and go to 9. And therefore, you know, particularly as we just discussed, our divisions on the continent would be able to get in on a reasonable hour, you know, say, you know, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon their time, and have a better opportunity to participate rather than having them up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So now,
Right.
if we're talking 24 hours, now I'm going to be up to 4 o'clock in the morning. I can't do that anymore. So, my vote again is to take it from 9 to 9 for starters. I do agree that we should have, you know, this is our premier event that would be collective, not just for 1 or 2 divisions. So we need to have something that involves the entire globe, with specific time slots for each division. I think that we need to cover areas including education on UNIA and its missions, accomplishments, kind of a report card of what we've been doing. We need to have something on our culture, agriculture, business, and a more generalized education. I think we need to involve countries around the world. As I spoke to people here, we want to include them on island, even though they don't have a particular division here in St. Thomas. And the St. Croix division has been a bit inactive in terms of our collective work. So, you know, everybody's continuing to do work, and that's the main point. And I think as we use this for recruitment, if we got a target of 100 new members, I think we can do 1,000 new members if we do this right.
Ashe. So that's the same thing you told me about when I said 12-hour to you. You said 24-hour to me. So you see how President Clyde up in the ante,
And then a week from now, he's going to say he never upped the ante.
Okay, well, if that's what you heard, that's what you heard. But I'm still sticking to my what my thoughts were, 9 to 9. Let's see. Want to have people in from all over, as I had mentioned. We've got the contacts in Zimbabwe and Panama that I personally would like to have as guests. I think we need to have some sort of a roster on our website that shows what time people are scheduled to come, or at least some
That's
of
right.
the people that are coming in, what time slots we have for the different divisions. Let's see. You mentioned vendors on that that flyer. How
Right.
do you envision doing that? I mean, in this COVID environment right now, I think that's a great idea. How do we get our retailers and other vendors involved with our Zoom meetings as we're having? As opposed to when we have a physical mass meeting, you know, they can set up and do business. How do we get them involved and at least show them as a sponsor or give them a little slot in our individual divisions time slots to highlight what they're doing? As an example here, the Black Mall, I'd like for that group to be able to come in. You know, they've been very supportive of our division for years. We've got others that I often invite to participate in our mass meetings. And so, you know, what ideas does everyone have on including vendors?
There's two ways to go about it. If I can chime in first, President Clyde. Number one, each division is going to have a minimum of an hour to two, depending on how many divisions we have that's partaking. So you can always bring in any group that you work with locally during that hour or two, and there's no charge for that. You understand? Whatever division bringing forward, there's no charge for no division. But at the same time, we definitely have to use this occasion for fundraising for the UNIA. And there's two ways that we saw it. We thought that probably each hour we can have 10 minutes, feature the vendors in a 5-minute slot where they can come on the Zoom and they'll have the audience of everybody and they can talk about their product, their business, give out website, phone number, or show samples and things. And if we say 10 minutes per hour, so 2 5-minute slots for vendors to feature what they're doing on the Zoom live, then if it's a 24-hour program in 10 minutes, we have 240 minutes total of vending space. So now we got to think of, if somebody came on for 5 minutes to present what they're doing for 5 minutes, what would you charge somebody for that? Or if somebody wanted a 10-minute slot, what would you charge them for that? So it's like, we have the power to feature, in each hour, we feature maybe 5 to 10 minute advertisement where we feature vendors. So several, and what you mentioned, President Clyde, we can feature them in a program or announce them and so on. So there's different ways where we can get funds, but the main way we're thinking about is for somebody to come and advertise their business for 5 minutes, what do you think is the cost for that? And how, 2 ways we can do the funds. We can total up the total funds that we get for that day, and then we divide it by the number of divisions, or divisions can get their own sponsors and advertisers, and they keep those funds. So whichever way the family want to go is cool with me. So we can decide whichever way we want to go, but we can get.
Or we can put some funds toward the international headquarters or whatever, or the African Redemption Fund.
Exactly.
How we want to do that. Okay.
Exactly. We can decide how we divide up the funds. Okay. But this is definitely going to be a fundraiser and a fund maker, because each division will be getting funds from the members who join that division.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. The other thing I was thinking, as you bring your speakers in that you want to have highlighted on this event, my reading of Garvey is that he always allowed varied groups to speak at convention and at meetings. So, but he would not allow them to hijack the whole message. So there's I guess a way to ensure that it doesn't go off message too much. So as an example, I brought with me one of the books by Dr. Claude Anderson, and I've been rereading that while I'm here, Powernomics. If we could get some of the elders like Jane Smalls, Claude Anderson, etc., to come in and participate with us. I mean, we wouldn't want to tax them too much because, you know, their time is very valuable at this point in their lives, but to get their message in a tight window, how could we do that without, again, watering down our Garveyite message? I think for the most part, you know, they're right on point with what we're doing, but, you know, just to make sure that we're careful with how we open up the floor to others.
That's a good question, President Clyde. And first of all, I want to say that every division in your jurisdiction and the contacts that you have, we want to invite these types of people to be part of the program because we're going to 24-hour. So we're going to have enough time and see what's best time for them to come in. And how we control so they don't hijack the message, the program, is we limit them, whether just give them 10 or 15 minutes to present. Because if we let them go on for an hour, then they're going to hijack it. But if we limit them to 10 minutes or 15 minutes per presenter, then they don't have enough time to hijack it. And everybody should know President Blyden from Division 433 also joined us. Greetings, President Blyden.
Race first, family.
Greetings, President Lyon.
Yes.
I got one of your family members of Blyden here in St. Thomas. It was a senator, and I think he's one of from the Blyden line here. So.
Oh yeah, when I heard you say St. Thomas, you know our whole family is down there. Like Blyden is like Smith in the phone book down there. My side of the family is from Charlotte Amalie. So if you get a chance to link with anybody in Charlotte Amalie, those Blyden.
I was there all today. I was there all today. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, those are my family. We got to talk, man. Call me.
All right.
Division 407, President, when I was heading to St. Croix for our convention there, a brother by the name.
We lost you, Mensa. Oh, hey, while we're waiting, I just want to make one other comment.
Okay.
So given that we've got about a month before this event, we've really got to start writing letters and getting the communication out as quickly as possible. So how can we solidify the fact, one, that we're going to do this, get the buy-in from our PG, and lay out a, I guess, a tentative schedule.
So what we can do is that each one of us can take different responsibilities on different aspects of it. So I can draft up something to send to the Secretary General, Brenda, so that way, if you get it to her, she'll be able to get it out to the HEC and all division presidents. So I can just draft up something to let her know where. I sent her the communication this evening's meeting so that she can be part of it, but I don't see her on the call. We have, we're not going to be able to discuss this thing this event in one meeting tonight, right. And we definitely should have to meet probably once a week for the same amount of time. But we definitely have to have assignments before we end this meeting, so that way, as you mentioned, President Clyde, we got a lot of people we got to contact. We got to get the word out on social media and everything and so on. We got a lot of work to do. So I would suggest that each division just take a responsibility for one aspect in it. We have to draft a letter to the President General to let him know about it. And then we have to come up with a program schedule for the 24 hours. And the other thing we have to do before I'm going to keep on saying 24 hours because I'm sold of it already.
Midnight to midnight, okay.
Right, because then everybody can come in when it's best for them. And we'll have it going through the whole time, music and everything. We have two presidents more who didn't get a chance this year. President Johnny and President Lion Blyden. So let me bring in President, and then there's another issue I want everybody to think about. The theme for the program says, Garveyites, can we unite? And we got to define what we mean by Garveyites. Who's Garveyites? Because when this fire goes out publicly, it's going to go out. And who are we talking about when we say Garveyites, can we unite? Are we talking about every single Garveyite in the world? Or are we only talking about a certain Garveyite? That's one thing we want to address. But let's bring in President Johnny. And President Johnny, if y'all don't know President Johnny, he formed his division underneath the previous administration, Division 474 in Nashville, Tennessee. But I'll let him come in and speak for himself.
Race first. Race first family.
Race first.
Basically, from what I gather, Division 474, which is headquartered out of Nashville. I am residing in Georgia at this time. I sit in prison for over 20 some odd years. In that 20 years, I became conscious that there was more to life than what was going on in my life. So I started to study the Honorable Marcus Garvey. And I had no idea at the time that there was UNIA divisions still alive and operating. And I attempted to resurrect what I thought was a dead UNIA at the time from prison. And I was blessed to run across Brother Ross Marvin, Commissioner Ross Marvin and President Ross Marvin at the time. And he continued to guide and give me instruction. And therefore, now that I have been released from the gulags, I still like to reach out to those brothers that are there because we are a part of the population that is forgotten due to the lifestyles that a lot of us chose to live and some that was forced upon us to live. However, the problem still exists that these brothers are going to be released from prison at one time. While they're there, they don't have, nobody really has any idea. Like the little town I live in now, Rochelle, Georgia, you ask somebody about Marcus Garvey, they ask you who you're talking about. You mention UNIA, they have no idea what I'm talking about. So I'm taking the initiative here in this small community to push out as much information as I can. And I would like to continue to reach to these brothers in prison. I've been communicating with a few of them since this COVID-19, and they've really shut those brothers down. They have no outside communication now. And as far as the event, I have a couple of prisoners that have since been released, inmates, whatever you want to call them, convicts, but I call them members, I call them brothers in solidarity. They are released. I have a couple of females that have been released, and they have all contacted me. I'm in present contact with one on a daily basis, and she's ready to be a part of the program. She has something that she would like to put on, a message that she would like to put out, and how it saved her life. She's 26, by the way. And as far as monies and those things, I leave that strictly up to Brother Ross Marvin and brothers like President Clyde and those people, because as I said, I'm released from prison, so a lot of stuff I'm still behind on it. I'm needing guidance. But I am here full running, got my feet on the ground and ready to run. Thank you.
President Johnny, did you want to chime in anything on the program for Saturday, August 15th? Any ideas that you have how we can make it better?
Actually, I can't see anything that would make it better other than the fact that we be there in person.
Okay. And that's what I forgot to mention. Y'all, President Johnny started his division amongst brothers that was incarcerated while he was incarcerated. I think you remember that President Clyde, previous PG Senghor, talking about it. But yes, but he's been released since that time. We're so glad that he's back on the street again. Let's go to President Lyon Blyden in Division 433 in Buffalo, New York. President Lyon Blyden, what is your comments? I know you came in, not when we started, but from what you heard before, and I had shared it with you before too. Do you have any feedback, ideas, and inputs? Because it's going to be up to all of us as presidents to input on this so we get the best program ever. In other words, we get a program that's fitting for 100-year celebration. President Lyon, you're on mute if you're trying to talk. Probably have to unmute yourself.
Are we here? Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So first of all, dealing with the, I wanted to respond to the thing about the hijacking the movement and the hijacking the message thing. One thing that happened when Brother Runoko Rashidi came to come speak up here was part of his message was to help recruit. So if we can make sure that if we invite somebody to speak, part of what their discussion should be assisting us in recruiting people to the government of our people. If they can't help, if they can't agree to do that coming in, then maybe we shouldn't be, inviting them no way. And he was very open about doing that. He spoke twice while he was here. He told people, come see the UNIA, join the UNIA, and the government of our people. So I think that's a way to keep people from being able to hijack, quote unquote, the message. As far as which Garveyites we talking about, to quote the Honorable President Marua Farrell, Garveyites pay dues. So, you know what I mean? I'm not sure, but that's a reality. So I know you're talking about dealing with the split and the other factions or whatever, but that's one of the things that we need to be specifically exerting authority on and defining in the public realm anyway. The fact that Garveyites are members of divisions, and promote and push the government. Period. So that's really all I would have to add to that. We down for the 24-hour thing. I think that's a good idea. I think that was a great idea, Brother Clyde. Good job. And we're gonna have our youth put something nice together for the people.
Ashe. And also we have a couple members from Division 421. I'm going to hold on before I bring in, because this is a president's meeting. So the members from Division 421, y'all going to have time to chime in, but there's two other important things that the presidents need to respond to, and President Lyon just responded to one of them. But we need to determine, because once the flyer goes out there public, we need to determine who do we mean when we say Garveyites. Because President Lyon says, he goes with what President Marua says, Garveyites pay dues. So but if we limit it to that, how much new members are we going to get?
No, I don't.
But anyway, let's start, go around the circle again, and we'll start from President Jasmine. President Jasmine, in your eyes, when we say Garveyites, who are we inviting to be part of this program?
We are inviting people who are, we then have the knowledge of the UNIA and what we're about, and having some type of understanding about the government, and are willing to put their efforts in, put some work in for the betterment of our folks of African descent, and actually put in financially also. We talk about having our membership, with talking about activating our membership, whether the new members or dues paying, renewal of membership, or if there's anything in terms of programs that we are going to. They have to not just pay membership, but we have a lot of dues paying people, but we don't have a lot of active people. They have to find ways of getting them involved with committees to get involved. we have a whole, as I said before, we have a whole bunch of people. Many are called fierce chosen. It's just sometimes it's just a small few that is to keep doing the work. It becomes very heavy, very laborious, very hard. So if everyone putting their expertise, it will make the effort much easier. But yes, a Garveyite is someone who understands the philosophy, the opinions, and look to uplift or to promote the work of what our founder, the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, started. And again, it's you know, from education to industrial, you know, just forming economic base for our people.
In your eyes, does a Garveyite have to be like how President Lyons say, a dues-paying member, or can a Garveyite be a non-dues-paying member? Where because he's not a dues-paying member, not because he didn't want to pay dues, because he's just learning that the UNIA exists, like how many of us have learned, except for the long-time UNIA divisions like 429 and so on.
Yeah, so a lot of people, you know, in terms of a Garveyite, you know, if you can you can read about it. Like I know a lot of people that have read about Garvey, you know, they teach it. I can speak of probably about Jamaica, but you know, they learn about Marcus Garvey and what he was about, right? And the dues paying section of it now is when you align yourself to a division, right? So as people understand, and then they align themselves to a division, because part of that also is to become, as the Honorable Marcus Garvey said, you know, there are two types of people, right? You have everyone of African descent is a member of the UNIA. It's just that you have some that are active members and are some that are not active members, which are the dues paying one. It's only $3 a month. So yes, if you talk about who is a Garveyite, are we talking about who is an active member in the Garveyite? A Garveyites know, again, as I say, the dues is one thing, but it's the work that comes and back it up is another thing. So you can't just pay dues and then just sit back and figure, you know, you're just going to reap the benefits of what everybody else. We should collectively come together and move this organization, this government forward. So dues is important because we have to run a government. That's why people in the system that we have, people pay taxes. But yeah, you have to pay dues. It's not laborious. $3 a month is, you know, it's doable. But also we have to put the work in to move forward.
So I understand and I hear clearly President Jasmine, in which she's saying that it's not just the dues, but it's the works that come with the dues. And we know that the works are plenty, but the workers are few.
Absolutely.
So I'm trying to see, because you mentioned active members and non-active members. You said, I think all Africans are members of the UNIA.
Right.
So in your eyes, will all Africans be considered Garveyites?
Well, all African, let's put it this way, providing that they have the knowledge, provided they know of what the UNIA is all about. And if they want to align themselves with the UNIA, right? So some people may not want to align themselves with the UNIA, you know, so be it. But from once you are in agreement and you want to align yourself with the UNIA, because some folks, you know, they are in black skin, but they consider themselves white in terms of their mind and their thinking. So my thing is, if you have that knowledge and you want to align yourself with the UNIA, I'm glad to meet President Johnny from Division 474, because guess what? When I did the convention last year, he submitted an article for the convention, right? To talk about incarcerated.
Your internet connection went out, President Jasmine. It's a small world because
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I didn't even know President Johnny and President Jasmine was in communication, but that's beautiful. President Jasmine, can you hear us? Because we're not hearing you. Okay, it seemed like your internet froze because you're frozen on the screen. But come on in when you can come in. Let's hear from Vice President Sister
Brother
Rochelle.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes, go ahead.
just real quick, because you made a good point with the active and non-active members being in the Constitution. That's real too. And so the active part of it, I'm sure, is what the part that Brother Maroy is focusing on when he said the dues paying members and the aligning with a division, because that's actually being a part of the government at that point. You actively doing something. So I guess my question is, what are we talking about who we going to invite to participate or just watch any events, or are we talking about who we invite to help put on the event? Because when we talk about, I think personally for me, Garveyite is somebody who's promoting the government as a division member actively. Because like you said, actually, you got to have the active part of it. Otherwise, they definitely not. One last thing. The biggest problem that we run into up here, trying to unify Black folks, especially folks that's already in other organizations, they feel like, oh, well, yeah, we're saying the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So we Garveyites too. It's like, dude, no, you're not, because we're really not saying the same thing, because you're not talking about government. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's something that's more of a year-round thing, and we need to have been on that a little bit sooner than this. But as far as who we trying to invite to come participate, to be viewers, I think everybody. If we talk about somebody that's going to be on the one side of the camera putting on the show, it should be division members. That's my vote for that.
Okay. So you saying in your eyes, Garveyites are who? President Lyon? Everybody? All Africans?
No, not at all. No, a Garveyite is somebody who is an ambassador of the government. You know what I'm saying? A member of a division.
I see. Okay. Okay. Let's go to President Clyde. Come on in, President Clyde. In your eyes.
There's certainly
by the way, President Clyde, before you start, President Lyon had asked a question. Who were we talking about in reference to the theme, Garveyites, can we unite? And President Lyon had asked the question, who are we talking about? But I think that's what we're trying to get the answer to. Go ahead, President Clyde.
Well, hold on a minute. Can you hear me before President Clyde go in?
Yes, Vice President Rochelle.
Okay, because I was up next. I'm sorry, President Clyde, but I had something to send. It's interesting. Yeah, it's
my fault. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's interesting that Brother Blyden pretty much asked the question that I wanted to ask, because I wanted to get a clear understanding as to when Brother Rass is asking about Garveyite, what is this in reference to when you're asking who's a Garveyite? Are we asking the question in regards to who we intend to invite to the programs that we're going to be having, or people who we want to participate on the program? Okay, and if we're talking about participation, that involves divisions, that involves people who are dues paying members or members of the UNIA. So it's open to all Black people of African descent, in my opinion. It's open because a lot of people may not be Garveyites now because they're not aware of Garvey and Garveyism, but by being invited and coming on, and from what they will be learning, from what the intention is in terms of education and economics and things of that nature, and they get an education as to who Garvey was and what he was about and the philosophies and opinions of Garvey, then they may become a Garveyite after hearing that. So we need to be very clear as to this question about who Garveyites are in relation to what you're suggesting for us to do with this 24-hour program. So that was my question too. So thanks to Brother Blyden, because that's exactly what I wanted to know. In my opinion, regarding who Garveyites are people who promote the works of Marcus Garvey. They must be active dues-paying members. They must be a part of a division. They must be actively working to uplift our people, to improve our conditions. And that's who I think a Garveyite is. So that's my piece where that is concerned.
Give thanks, Vice President Sister Rochelle. And to answer that question, first of all, the reason why we're even pondering that question, because it's the theme that we're suggesting for the theme for this celebration coming together.
So that's why we're pondering that question, because if we're saying that this is the theme, we want to make sure everything goes smoothly. So when we say Garveyites, we all got to be on the same page.
Right, but you haven't answered the question yet, Brother Ras, in regards to when you're asking who Garveyites are you asking this question in relation to participants, or you're asking this question in regards to people who are we're planning on inviting to come aboard and hear what is going on in the UNIA?
Okay.
So that's where I'm not clear. Yeah.
Okay, I was getting to it. I'm talking about people who participate.
Okay.
Okay, everybody who's participating.
Okay.
Okay, and as far as the programming, the qualification is they have to be a division and division president to help with the programming. So I'm talking about who's attending. Who are we inviting to attend? And because the theme says Garveyites, so these are the people that we're inviting to attend. But are we on the same page of what who Garveyites are? Because we got to be on the same page so that we don't have no confusion when this day happens.
Right, but when you ask them to attend, they will be doing, in other words, are they going to be having a slot in the program and they're going to promote Garveyism and have something that they're going to be speaking on, whether it's education or whatever that may be?
No.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying with the program, it's going to be up to us, the division presidents and the divisions, to plan the schedule of the program. But anybody can perform who want to perform. It has to be all positive. I'm saying we ain't talking about nothing negative. But I don't think anybody come with negative stuff. But we're talking about who's welcome to come to the program, number one, as Garveyites. And number two, we have to understand that this is a program that's being put on by us division presidents. So we're the ones who's controlling the program.
Can I just say that we invite the whole Black world, and then just during the event, we just make sure that everybody clarifies what a Garveyite is.
That's what I'm saying. And who didn't get a chance to chime in on this? Because I didn't get a chance to chime in, and I just wanted to tell y'all what the initial vibration of the energy of the theme was. And then I'm going to bring in the members from 421 so they can chime in. But anyway, what I'm saying is that the officers from 421, when the idea came to us with the theme, when we said Garveyite, it's like the ancestors was telling us everybody who considers themselves to be a Garveyite. That means if you love the red, black, and green, you have maximum respect for Marcus Garvey. So it included active members and non-active members. It also included Africans that are, as President Clyde said, in different organizations. Nation of Islam, the Hebrew Israelites, everybody who had that respect for Garvey. And they included all Africans, as several of the presidents described, that all Africans are members, even if they're not active members. And it also included, this is a touchy area, it also included
we lost your audio, Ross.
I should just skip.
Oh, you're bouncing in and out.
Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I just called coming in. I'm trying to hang up from it. That's our Constitution coordinator, Sister Tanaya.
Okay.
Okay, but I can't take her right now. But anyway, I'm saying what I was saying is that it included also, brothers, because it's the question asked, can we unite? So it was going out to all Garveyites from all over the world, because after this day, everybody going to go back to their respected camp, right? And we know there's even court cases happening, and we know there's accusations being made, thrown left and right. But on this day, during this 24-hour, we're not pondering that. we're pondering the idea, just to have the discussion, can we unite as Africans, as Garveyites? And we also, the energies was for everybody worldwide, or all Africans are members of the UNIA. So it included Africans from the other UNIA, who say that Cleo Miller is the President General. So it include all Garveyites. It wasn't just reserved just to us alone, the initial theme. So I want to make sure I share this with everybody. This was like a day where we just having this day as a day where we're not going to focus on not negative, but we're going to ask the question, just to ponder the question. And this is all dreams that I'm sharing with you now, that answers to tell me. So, but I got to share it with y'all. The climax of the program, y'all, because y'all know that controversy sells records. What is that guy who's always in the news, hip hop guy, and he always creating commotion. But the bottom line is that it ends up so that he sell more records. So controversy create records. And if we're able to pull the President Generals to be on a panel, the climax of the program, and this is just a dream, if we can have a panel with the President Generals, everybody who's alive now that ever had the title President General. And there's 4. Our President General Duncan. Senghor is alive, the previous President General. Akili is, I think, the President General for RC 2020, and also Cleo Miller. If we can set up a panel discussion of all 4 President Generals, because this will bring the 2 opposing sides together. The ultimate result of this is that we're going to get a lot of members, because everybody's going to bring everybody in their camp. We just have to be prepared. But
Brother Russ Marvin,
hold on 1 second. Let me just finish. And I know it's very, that's why we got to answer the question, who we talking about as Garveyites? Okay? We're only talking about, when we ask the question, who's invited, not who's going to run the program. We division presidents are going to run the program. Okay, but we're talking about who's invited. But a panel discussion with the President Generals, with it was more education for those who don't know about the UNIA. So each President General will be asked a question, and each of them would have probably 5 minutes to respond. Number 1, and the questions is going to come from us as division presidents. We're going to submit the questions, and then collectively we decide which questions to ask. But a couple of suggestions on questions is, number 1, can you explain the history of the UNIA that brings you to be President General today? Another question will be, what are the works that has been done in the UNIA underneath your leadership? And all President Generals have to answer it. But the key clutch question that they're gonna have to answer is a theme. Garveyite, as a Garveyite, can we unite? And each of them is gonna answer it. And if they say yes, then we ask them, well, how do you see us uniting? And this is just to have the discussion just for that 24. After that 24, everybody gonna return back to their respective camps, and things gonna be like how it always is. But we're just, for the 100th year, if we just create a space and time that we're together as one, like how we were before Marcus Garvey got incarcerated, we're all together as one. And just to make sure we have like a symbolic 100-year celebration where we say, Garveyites, can we unite? And that's the theme of the whole program. We'll have control over, nobody is gonna be able to come in and just throw derogatory comments at anybody. I'm just waiting till this fire truck pass. Nobody's gonna be able to come and throw derogatory comments in the chat to anybody, any of the president. Nobody's gonna be able to just come on the call and then talk out, hey, this person is a crook, this person is, no. We have all of that shut down on that day, okay? And we probably can open, and we're gonna need a couple hosts from the different divisions during like a time period and so on. But I just wanted to pose that, because if we can have that discussion, it's gonna result in a lot of members, because that's controversy. And controversy sells sales. But I'm gonna stop right there just to see what everybody thought about that. That's why we had to answer the question, who are we talking about? And I hope I answered the question, Vice President Rochelle, as far as we're talking about who's going to be invited, not who's planning the program. We are planning the program. Okay?
If I may say, Brother President Russ Marvin,
Yes.
I understand probably what you're trying to do. Personally, I think it is it would be a disrespect. For me personally, it's a disrespect to our President General, the Honorable Michael R. Duncan. That's just my view, and I'm aware that he has gone out and actually, tried to make a connection. I think this would be problematic, having these, other president generals or whatever, on it. I think would be a disrespect to have the other. I know, where I am, and in terms of a byman, and I'm just going forward. So if that's going to be where we're inviting all of these other president generals, because just one that I see, I will probably be respectfully decline to be part of this. Brother Russ Marvin.
No, President Jasmine, now you see why we have to understand from the get-go who we talking about when we say Garveyites. You see what I'm saying? Are we talking about everybody and anybody? But I want everybody else chime in on that. And President Jasmine, you should know that this program, the ancestor says we got to do it as division presidents. So it's only what we decide is what's going to happen.
No, but division presidents from where? I mean, division presidents from where? So if we are division presidents who acknowledge the President General as PG Duncan, I mean, what other presidents are there? If there's other organizations out there, they probably should, have their, view to get their divisions together, or so, because that this is going to be a sticking point. It's going to be chaos. If we try to do that, I'm not sure if this, but it may be a chaotic. Probably this should be discussed, or probably should be planned elsewhere, but not on on a forum like this where we, getting all of this. But it may be disastrous. That's just my opinion.
Okay. Let's hear from everybody else. Go ahead, Sister VP.
Yeah, I concur with Sister Jasmine, and that is why I asked the question, because I wasn't clear and I really wanted clarity as to where we're going with this. Brother Ras, you're aware of what is going on with the fighting and a lot of legal issues, and I don't think this would be the right platform for that. If it's something that you'd like to put together for these, the former PG, which is Brother Senghor, Akili was not a PG. Akili is something from a different organization that they have put together recently. And then you have Cleo Miller, that is from a different faction of the UNIA. So if that's something that you got a call in to do, then perhaps that's something that you can speak with the brothers and put together for them to have a conversation, because I want to know what the end result is, or what you foresee as the end result, because you also stated that after this, then everybody goes back to their regular lives and do what they've been doing before. So what would be the purpose for doing this if it's not to mend fences and create something something of substance? Because if everyone is just going to go back to what they were doing before, what would be the purpose of doing it now anyways? So that's one. Regarding this platform, this is celebrating the 100th year of the UNIA, and we're addressing it from a divisional level, with the divisions participating and teaching and encouraging people and teaching people about the UNIA and giving them information that they were not aware of. So I am just curious as to how you would have incorporated this piece with having the panel with the former president and other factions, with our President General, and how are we going to do this? And what is the purpose of doing this if everyone is supposed to go back to their regular lives after this? So that's where I stand with that. I'm not in agreement with it.
Okay, so let me answer the purpose. The purpose is to get 100, minimum 100 new members to each division. That's the ultimate aim behind the scenes, to increase our membership, which is something that our President General has always said that we have to do. And we can use the time that's happening, because it's going to be the 100th year. We can use technology, we can use our intelligence, and we can make this a very successful program for our government. And a lot of new members recruited and so on.
I tend to
I think we can do that without having this panel discussion with our President General and the other factions and the former President General Senghor. Don't you think this can be done in terms of recruitment efforts without having to go there knowing how volatile this situation
yes.
is?
Well, the situation will be controlled by us, because we will be controlling technology. So nobody can speak anything or even share anything unless we allow them, okay? But I agree with you, it could be a very volatile situation if we don't have everything tight, okay? As far as the panel discussion with President Generals, it's not a definite, it's just a suggestion, okay? And I had to bring it to y'all because I have to lay everything on the table so that everybody knows what is the energies that came with this idea and this vision. So that's why I asked the question, in all of our eyes, what does it mean to be a Garveyite? Does it mean that the other UNIA, those people are not Garveyites? So if we can define what Garveyites is and we have agreement on it, I think that will clear up a lot of the things. Because unless we have to change a theme to a different theme.
So, okay, Nicholas, so you said who's the Garveyite and whatever, we are running a government. I'm just using, for example now, so the existing government with the system that we have, right? You have a president there, right? United States have 2, 3 different presidents. No, we don't have that. So but my thing is, you know, to deal with this kind of situation, and in terms of whatever reconciliation that needs to be done between the different president generals and stuff like that, I don't think this forum here should be used for that. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
I don't think this is a forum that should be. We can probably, if you want to discuss it, well, we can have a presidents with dealing, you know, with the fraction, but not this particular forum here, because this forum here is, I personally think will be disrespectful to the current President General. I'm talking about the office of our current President General. Right? Whoever that, you know, right now our current President General is Michael R. Duncan, and it's, you know, for our divisions, we are under that umbrella, and this forum here in terms of this kind of celebration should be for that. Now, in terms of conflict resolution or to deal with aligning selves, I think we as president, you know, Russ Marvin, you have a great vision, and I would love to see that in terms of everyone uniting, but let's do it at a, you know, on a different forum.
Okay.
You know, we can always get all us presidents together, and we can get, you know, the president generals together and so on, and do it, but not on this particular forum here. And that's just my take. It will be, it's as you know, it will be volatile. I personally think it will be disrespectful to the office under the umbrella.
Okay.
Right? And you know, that's just my take on that.
Ashe, give thanks, President Jasmine, because that's what we want to know. We want to know what everybody's take is on it. President Clyde, you just jump up and run away. But let's go to President Johnny and see what is your take on it, President Johnny. We heard from the sisters. You're probably on mute.
Greetings. I do
basically
agree.
probably have to answer the question first in your eyes, because we might have to change the theme. Because what happened is that if we have the theme is Garveyites, can we unite? And we're really just talking about the government, then people going to come to us and say, this says Garveyite, I'm a Garveyite. So I should be part of the program, or I should be able to come to the program. Well, go ahead, President Johnny.
Brother, in my opinion, from what I can see, I do agree with Sister Jasmine. Maybe this tonight is the wrong forum. Maybe it should be another forum set up for this discussion, since it is so many different President Generals and President Duncan. General Duncan is who we support. Do not want to disrespect him or his office in any kind of way. But on another hand, the theme is a great thing, because just because they are not of us, or they have a different platform that they call UNIA, does not mean that in their heart they're not true. You understand? It's the same with us. They could be saying the same about us. We are not true Garveyites. You understand? So until we can all come to the table and sit down and come to a resolution, as she spoke on, where we see that Marcus Garvey is the epitome of what we're trying to accomplish here. The lifestyle that he laid forth, the blueprint that he laid forth, is what constitutes a Garveyite. Everything that he put forth is what made a Garveyite. We can't take this part away, this portion away, or any of that. We have to include it all. And I would like to read something here from the Honorable Marcus Garvey, and it deals with man. And that's what we find ourselves dealing with this here. So again, as far as the program, I have what I will offer on the day of the program if I can. I'll be more than glad to do that. But the Honorable Marcus Garvey started out with 2. He say, man, because of his sin, which caused him to have fallen from his high state of spiritual cleanliness to the level of a creature who acts only for his own satisfaction by the gift of free will, must be regarded as a dangerous creature of light. When he wants to be good, he can be good. Otherwise, he is generally bad. In dealing with him, you must calculate his vices and his damnable evil. He is apt to disappoint you at any time. Therefore, you cannot boldly rely on him as an individual. Always try to touch him with the hope of bringing out that which is good, but be ever on your guard to experience the worst that is in him, because he is always in conflict with himself as between good and evil. So that's what we are experiencing with these separate entities here. Yes, we know that we have the government. We know that we are an official government, but in their eyesight, they are too. So we have to bring them to the table and sit down with them on whatever platform, on whatever day, because the day is at hand. It's not tomorrow that we can wake up and say, okay, we're going to make this change. We got to make that change as we are speaking now, literally. And that's my opinion. So if you're putting in work, you're educational, you're building upon each division or as a whole of the UNIA, then you should be considered a Garveyite, period. You're paying your dues, you're working socially, you're working economically, you're working educationally. Those are the things that constitute a Garveyite, in my opinion. Thank you.
Give thanks, President Johnny, and President Marua from Division 401 in Chicago just joined us. Greetings, President Marua.
Greetings, President Ross. Greetings, everybody. Race first.
Race first. So what we're doing now, President Marua, I'll just get you up to speed real quick. I shared the flyer with the group and everybody liked it and everything. And I shared the vision of the program and everybody had a chance to respond and sing to the vision. But it was 2 things that it was very catchy or something that we need to discuss and come on same page with. So just before you came in, what we was all addressing is who are we talking about as far as who's a Garveyite? And we're talking about, are we just talking about in reference to inviting them to the program? Who's a Garveyite? Are we asking that question in reference to that? Or are we asking that question, who's a Garveyite, in reference to the program and then the planning of the program? So I'd answered with the planning of the program and the running of the program, it's us division presidents that's doing it. But as far as the invitation, who's going to be invited, if we have a theme like Garveyites, can we unite? who are we talking to? And that's what we're addressing right now. And Sister President Jasmine responded to it, and Vice President Rochelle responded to it. And we're trying to figure out, because if we're going to put that out in the public, anybody can come to us and say that they're Garveyites, but are they going to be welcome to the program, to be part of the program? Not to be planning it, but to be part of the program. And that's what we're answering. And President Johnny just addressed it. But let's let President Clyde come in, and then President President Lyon, and then President Marua. We're going to go to you afterwards so you can listen to some of the conversation before you respond. Go ahead, President Clyde.
Yes, there's certainly a lot of wisdom collectively at the table. We've gone down the path several times before, and we have, I think, taken both steps forward and backwards in terms of some of the divisiveness and a few of the divisions, as well as issues with PG. So we have to be very careful on proposing and trying to executing on those things that would, again, be retreading on those same issues. I think, I know PG has been clear with his take on it, and I think something that represents his administration, be it from the division presidents or from the HEC, still going to have the stamp of the PG on it. So I think we might be spinning our wheels and trying to put together this type of a panel with the ex-PGs and so-called current President General. So I think we might want to reconsider that for, again, some other time. I understand this might be stars aligning and what have you and this time, but I just think that we're beating that horse a little bit too much at this point. So I would say no, don't have that panel.
Okay, because we don't.
I agree that Garveyites, and as the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey had it, he had Garveyites all over the world. Those supporters, they may not have been members, but they supported the UNIA and President Garvey. So I think that it's broader than just dues-paying members. People are with us in spirit, and they're doing the work, but may not, for whatever reason, be aligned with a particular division as a dues-paying member. So I think there's a broader perspective on what a Garveyite is. Right here in the Virgin Islands here over the last week, I mean, I'm talking with Garveyites, and they will sit and talk with you about race first. They'll talk to you about philosophies and opinion, and so they have studied, but yet there is no division here. So I think a Garveyite is a broader term than just dues-paying member. And that's what I have to say on the subject. Thank you.
Thank you, President Clyde. President Lyon?
Yeah, definitely. So see, that's where we run into the problem, though, right there. And that's probably part of the reason why the UNIA has been broken up from the 100 years ago that it is now. Because we have not exerted the authority of the government to explain in detail what a Garveyite is. Because you can't, those same people, like, see, I run into them same type of people, Brother Clyde, that you was talking about. They definitely have studied Garveyism. They definitely can repeat the stuff that they read in the book. But the fact that they have not taken the action to either join a division or create one is an issue. Because that's what Garvey taught. He didn't teach them to just talk about his speeches. He taught us to create divisions, join them, and make it bigger. You know what I mean? That was the only thing he was teaching. Everything he was saying was about us being a part of the government and growing that. So it's like part of the problem that I run into up here trying to recruit people is because they want to say that exactly. Like, oh yeah, I know about Garvey, you know what I'm saying? Race first and, philosophy, I got all that, yeah. But the reality of it is they're not putting it into action. They'll go to one of these other organizations up here that's not doing real work about nation building. They're doing some sort of integrationalist thing, or they're doing like they're out here with the Black Lives Matter team, or they promoting other type of protests and things like that. No work is being done toward building the division or the government in Marcus Garvey. And so when we talk about the words and things that he wrote, that's what he was talking about. On another note, we might have just killed a whole bunch of time talking about this for nothing, because I don't think all of them was going to sit down in the panel together. No way. So, yeah, I don't think that's a good move. I think us doing something as the UNIA for the centennial is a must, and that's what it is. I'll yield to the floor.
Give thanks, President Lyon. And
Excuse me, our brother Russ Marvin, did our brother Lyon address or probably I wasn't listening, about the panel? Did you address in agreement with having the panel with the other president generals?
No, he's not.
Or former president generals? Did he recommend that or did not recommend that?
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea, because that's giving power to them that I don't necessarily think that they deserve. You know what I'm saying? We are the government and the UNIA-ACL of the world, and we have to represent it strongly and firmly in every aspect. So I don't necessarily agree with that either. And to invite them on is similar to just if you're watching the news and things like that, similar to inviting these Trump supporters on to talk, knowing they're not really, anyways. But yeah, I'm not in agreement with that. I don't think so. Yeah. But again, I don't think that they will come anyway. So I don't, we might just be going around in circles even on this call right now.
And then in terms of recruitment, who are you recruiting? If you're having all of this and you have recruiting, who are you recruiting? Are you recruiting people for your organization under the umbrella that you're on, or who? To go to different people in their respective divisions and stuff. As I say, it's a fantastic idea, brother Russ Marvin. I said my piece already anyway. I think it's this particular thing wouldn't be the best forum for it.
And that seemed like that's the consensus. But let's hear from President Marua, who did not get a chance to share, see what President Marua. I talked earlier with President Marua and kind of gave him an update, up to speed of what's happening. So you kind of know what's happening. But President Marua, chime in and share whatever you want to share based upon what you heard so far.
Right. So before I raise first, everybody again. Before I chime in, is everybody who's on this call a part of the government of the UNIA?
Yes.
Everybody?
Yes.
Because I don't think I know Brother Johnny. Brother Johnny, say Division 474.
Okay. President Johnny, I want you to meet him. He formed his division. It was formed out of, if you remember when P.G. Senghor was the President General, and he mentioned we have a division that formed in the prison.
In the prison?
Yeah, the division that was formed out of the prison. Brothers got together in the prison in Nashville, Tennessee, and formed the division. So President Johnny led that effort. And what year was that, President Johnny?
That was in 2014.
2014. But from that time, since they formed the division in prison, President Johnny has been released, and he's now free again. But anyway, President Johnny, I want to introduce you to President Marua, and speak for yourself, I guess, share whatever you'd like to share with President Marua.
Greetings, President.
Greetings, bro. Welcome home, bro. Welcome home. Yes, sir.
Very much, sir. I really don't have much to say. I'm just glad to be back amongst the living again and able to serve my people in the best of my abilities. I'm still learning as I walk, so that's it. I'm here and I'm ready to work with any and all that is about the UNIA and preserving this life that we have.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So, all right. So let me just say that I believe that the the desire and the mission to unite all Garveyites is noble, and I believe that it's something that needs to be done. I'm on the record of saying that. That's what we tried to do with the HEC last year in Chicago, was to start by, first of all, uniting the government of the UNIA. Since then, and because of then or whatever, and after that, we've had more division. But I believe totally in uniting. But I have to exercise caution when we start talking about, first of all, it's only one president general. That's it. That's it. It ain't Cleo Miller, Achille, Baba Senghor is a former president general. It's only one president general. That's it. And we have to make sure that we stand on that, because we are the UNIA, the only real UNIA. Everybody will either come back home, and this was their home. So I'm real hesitant, because I'm real hesitant about inviting others who are not a part of our government to have a platform within our association. But I do feel it's a need. But I'm not sure, Ross Marvin, and the more and more I think about it, I'm just not sure as if we as a government are ready. Because I think we need to actually heal our own home first before we actually, start reaching out for others. Now, if they want to invite one of us to come and speak on a platform or a program in which they're doing, then yeah, we might, well, we can't even do that with the RC 2020. We can't participate in their program. But if Cleo Miller then wants to do that, then okay. I don't believe they have any divisions. Maybe they do, but I don't believe they do. So I think at this point in time, it's a time for them to actually plant seed and dissension with our members without us having any access to their members. I think we need to do this though, eventually. I really do. But I'm not sure at this point in time if we are ready. I'm just not sure at this time if we are ready, to do that. With people actually coming at our PG and things like that, right or wrong, we got to rally around the person that we elected, and we have to stand on that. So, but I hate not to. I mean, I don't believe.
President Moreau, you don't have to worry yourself, because that's the general consensus. So from this point on, we can just scratch the panel off the program. Because
now we can have a panel, but I mean, if we have a panel, why not have a panel of our members? I mean, we can do things or have we want to do the programming of it.
The President General panel. Let's just scratch it off.
Okay, right, okay.
President General panel, because we want to do this so that we're all in unification with what's happening.
Yes, sir.
So therefore, since we're going to scratch a President General panel off what we're doing, and we're not going to talk about that anymore, do we need to change the theme?
Well, Ross Marvin, one thing, you got a lot of people who use the word of our founder, the Honorable Marcus Garvey, but real Garveyites pay their dues.
Mm-hmm.
So I know people, say Garveyite this, I'm a Garveyite. If you don't pay your dues and you're an active member, you're not a Garveyite. And the only place you can pay your dues is to the government of the UNIA. Now, if it's not a division where you at, then you need to be trying to get six other people to start a division. But if it's not a division, then you can join one of our divisions until you actually start a division. But real Garveyites, and we got to quit just letting everybody just use that term, because a Garveyite pays his dues. You're not a Garveyite if you're not a member of the UNIA, if you're not an active member of the UNIA. Now, it's a lot of people that love Marcus Garvey. They talk Marcus Garvey. They like the red, black, and green and all those things. But when it comes down to it, we got to separate what is a real Garveyite. And that's somebody who pays his dues, who made a commitment of his mind, body, and spirit to the protection, defense, and security of the red, black, and green. You got to take that oath. You got to make that pledge. You got to pay your dues.
You
not
better
just
preach,
in
brother.
money. Huh?
Yeah,
I said you better preach, brother.
I mean,
No.
I'm a Garveyite.
No, hold on. If President Marura was
What's the
to,
question, please?
was to preach this at our program, that means everybody at the program would have to join a division.
Everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Not
There we
quit saying
go.
it.
But
Quit
isn't
saying
that the basis of this though? Isn't that the basis that we're trying to build and create membership? That is the basis of this.
Oh, that's
So then what Brother Marura is saying is totally in point. And that's the general consensus, because that's what Brother Blyden said, myself said, Sister Jasmine said. You definitely have to be a division, a dues paying member, because how are you going to build with not investing and not committing in the upliftment of your people by paying the dues and bill? How are you going to do that? So you may say you're a Garveyite, but you're not really a Garveyite at the core, at the heart, if your intention is not to commit and do that.
To the UNIA.
Exactly.
Now,
for the
people can
UNIA.
work for Black people. I mean, Honorable Marcus Garvey, and if you read the literature, he tells us to actually support other race first organizations and all those things, and we do those things. Especially here in Chicago, we got a wide umbrella because the UNIA is the only umbrella big enough for everybody. But the thing is that when we actually say that we are Garveyites, that means that we are committed to the work of Marcus Garvey. And Marcus Garvey was just a man, and he was just a man. The work is the Universal Negro Improvement Association. And that's what we have to go on here and pump up and make sure that other people know who we are, that we still here, that if it wasn't for us, it wouldn't be others. Because everybody, I say Marcus Garvey, the UNIA is Granddaddy's house.
Mm-hmm.
Out of Granddaddy's house came the Moore Science Temple. Out of Granddaddy's house came the Nation of Islam. Out of Granddaddy's house came the Black Panther Party. Out of Granddaddy's house came the Republic of New Africa. Out of Granddaddy's house came MOVE. Out of Granddaddy's house came the Rastafari. Out of Granddaddy's house. But we are the ones who stick totally to Granddaddy's house. We're Garveyites. We pay our dues. We do the work. This is the work. This is the work. Now, we might work with other places and other people, and we do. We work with other places, other people. We do other things. We're part of other organizations. But the primary work has to be, for a Garveyite, has to be UNIA. That's the primary work. Can't be nothing before that.
So
This had to be your church.
I don't see a reason for us to change the theme, but
Me either.
definitely let's just scrap the panel discussion, because that's too much mess with that. So let's just take it to us planning this program like how we had discussed, and I think we're going to be great anyway. Okay, so let's hear. Two other people didn't get to chime in at all tonight, but I don't want to keep everybody too long because we're already more than a half an over where we decided to go. And the only other thing we have to decide tonight, when are we going to come back together again? And is it okay that we push this flyer out publicly, the flyer that I showed earlier? It's because we need to get out the word. And this is not going to be the final flyer, but it's just something to reserve the date, because if we don't reserve the date, there's going to be a lot of people putting out things to celebrate 100 years of the RBG. So I want everybody to look at the flyer again, and it's hosted by UNIA divisions. And we're only talking about, there's only one PG, President General Duncan, and there's only one UNIA government, us. So when we say hosted by UNIA divisions, we're talking about us. We're not talking about anybody outside of us. So everybody got to understand, look over this, and it's just something so we can get, it's more like a save the date, so that nobody try to do anything on this date and so on. people gonna do things on this date. But would this be okay for us to just put out there publicly from now so people know what's happening? And if any division or anybody can make up a better flyer, or more specific flyer, that'll be real good. I just took the Black Government ID and put the words over it. I'm not a graphics person, but we got to get something out there at least a month in advance so people know that this is happening.
I think we need to, this is Brother Clyde, I think we need to make sure that the Secretary General staff has an opportunity to run it through HEC. I mean, even though we're putting together, as presidents, we're trying to put together the program, we're going to need the stamp of HEC on it, I think. And I think one of the things is we got to make sure that this can go up on the UNIA website as well. So they will have to, I guess that would mean that the registrar here will have to have the option to put it on there as well. But other than that, I like it.
Now, President Clyde, I know that all UNIA divisions, we all should be organizing and doing programming all throughout August. I don't know necessarily if we have to have the stamp of the A, because they already gave, I mean, we already have a directive, but that's what we do anyway. We should be doing that anyway, because with this going on the 15th, you know, we want to do we're gonna do a parade here in Chicago. I mean, regardless of what it, no, I mean, you know, we respect the HEC totally, but the work that we doing here on the ground, we gonna do. As long as we're not stepping outside of our purview, you know. I mean, we want the HEC to be involved in this too, but you know, I don't necessarily send to the HEC when I'm, you know, about approval of any program that we do.
True. I think this was, I guess the theme is going to be more broad than just an individual division. And as a result, I think having that stamp would be a good thing to get up front, just to make sure that, you know, as an example, it came up early on the call and said, okay, well, who on the continent, which divisions on the continent have been brought up to speed on this idea? You know, I mean, obviously you got to start somewhere, but you know, that you know, just begs the question, how is the Secretary General able to disseminate that information if she doesn't have it?
And also, in addition to that, our I Commissioner, you're right. In terms of dissemination, the Secretary General and the I Commissioner who works on the continent. So that's a very good idea. I would like to have the full participation of everyone.
And if we're going to be going for 24 hours, now Brother Maru, I know you can go 24 hours yourself, but but for 24 hours, I mean, we want all hands on deck to make this as robust as possible, so that those people on the outside can see the work that we're doing globally and be more apt to join. I mean, you know, the joining is a local thing, but we also want to grow outside of just, in our case, Chicago.
Okay, let me respond to what President Clyde said as far as notifying the HEC. Everyone should know that the invitation was sent to the HEC too. It was sent to President Raymond because he's a division president, and it was sent to Commissioner Kabir, and he responded, said he was coming on the meeting. So I expected him to see him on the meeting. And also was sent, this invitation was also sent to Secretary General, Sister Brenda. The only person I couldn't send it to was President General, because I didn't have his direct links in Africa.
Right, the Secretary General, I was on a meeting right before on a division meeting before I got on this one. That's why I was a little late. But the Secretary General did let me know that she got the notice of this meeting. So
Good, good.
right,
So,
and I have to say that's I'm glad that was done, President Ross, because before me and Brother Clyde, we got kind of beat up pretty bad about talking to presidents without having permission.
you're still feeling the sores.
Yeah, I still feel that, but yeah.
The lashes.
In addition, I posted it in the WhatsApp group, the division president's WhatsApp group, so that the message could get to the
That's
president.
great. That's great. Yes, sir.
So,
Yes.
but I was hoping that some of them would come on. But please, what we got to do is each of us who have connections to UNIA divisions, wherever they are in the world, please pass this message forward and make sure we bring them in and get them involved, because it's just we doing it as division presidents. And we want to make sure that all division presidents know about what's happening and can partake from now to get-go. Not 2 weeks or 3 weeks from now. So share it with everybody. Share it with the Commissioner General. I'm sending out the flyer to everybody. The only person's email I do not have, I don't have President Jasmine. Give me your email real quick.
Okay, it's Jazz, J-A-Z, dot UNIA
Here it is.
dot ACL at gmail.com.
Okay. And Vice President Rochelle, let me get your email so I can send you the flyer too.
Sure. It's RO dot UNIA dot ACL at gmail.com.
And I will get you the email. I will get you the email to the Gary Division President. Since we don't have a commissioner, we no longer have a commissioner here in 6 and 7. But
And I'll get information too. I know I'm in touch with the president in Ghana.
Okay.
And you mentioned Brother Heru in Jamaica.
Yes, we got a different.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I don't have their emails, so please forward this information on to them. And any ideas that anybody get, we're gonna need to put it together. Can everybody meet next week, Monday too, at around the same time?
Yeah.
And everybody bring ideas to the table?
Yes.
Okay, great, because what we gotta do now, this year will serve to at least we get a public notice out there. But we're gonna need somebody who can make an official flyer for us. We're gonna need somebody to responsible for the programming. We're gonna need an MC.
1 minute, Brother Ross. I'm not sure, but I do believe that it's an event that's being sponsored by New York next Monday.
Sorry, say that again.
Yes, that's.
So Sophia said something about it's an event in about New York. I mean,
On the 16th.
Is that? Oh, that's
on the 16th. On the 16th.
Okay, so that's
no.
not,
Wait. July 20th. Oh yes. We do have something on the
on the 20th.
Yeah.
Right, because it's right. So I know that she said that, and that kind of goes with, again, Brother Clyde, with what I was saying about, we don't necessarily have to get no permission, to do this. But I know that Sister Sophia said something about, and that's a day, that's a holy day for us, because that's celebrating the
that's a Founders Day.
Right.
Founders. Yeah, we do have our stuff is at 6 p.m. And also, in addition to that, there is we're gonna have a rally that the second President General sent to me earlier today. So next week, yeah, we're gonna be we have some stuff going on next week, Monday.
Yeah, but I don't know about what President Raymond has sent out I mean, I guess everybody is invited. I mean, you know, just like with 401.
No, yeah.
But
The one, no, what he had is like, it's a march from the rock.
okay, all right, yeah. So that's
Yeah.
just for local members.
For
But
local,
I know,
yeah.
right? I know Sister Sophia in the Constitutional Committee call, she did ask for us, and she opened it up and asked
Right,
for participation from other divisions. So
Mhm.
so we'll be talking to our elders to see if
Right,
they're
correct.
willing to come on that, and
Yeah.
I think she asked me to come and say a few words too.
Right.
So yeah, but so I don't know about, you know, as far as what other, you know, other local things, but I do know that Sister Sophia
Mhm.
opened up something, and that's for other division members too.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
right.
Founders Day celebration. We're having the virtual panel highlighting the decades or more of Garveyism. Yeah, she did send it. I'm sorry.
There's two brothers who didn't get a share throughout the whole night. Brother Moises, we're going to be closing in a second, the third vice president for Division 421. Brother Mason, did you want to chime in on anything before we close up the meeting? I don't want you to be here as an officer for 421 and didn't say anything. Did you have anything to share upon what you heard? Brother Mason, we can't hear you. You must be on mute.
Ross, did you call me? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
my phone. Okay. I thought you did. I wasn't sure.
Chime in.
Yeah, I just been a fly on the wall here. My name is Omasis, third vice president of 421, and also the business coordinator. And you know, I'm just here to assist where I can. Any ideas that I have, you know, I'm willing to assist. I'm just here listening, and I appreciate, you know, being you guys, all of the presidents, and just being here and you guys presence. And thank you all for all y'all do. I'm happy to follow you guys' footsteps and work.
Give thanks, Brother Masis. Yes, yes.
You got a young brother, huh?
Oh,
You got some young brothers down there in Atlanta. You know what, Brother Clyde? All we need is that young brother there and President Jasmine to come to Chicago, and we own.
I travel a lot too, so you know I might just show up in Chicago. You know, it's my mission to get to you. So, you know.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, brother.
It's so great when you get young people who take responsibility with the works. So that's why we ain't gonna trade him right now because he's a future champion. So right now he just you know getting in the challenge. Yeah, man. So you're gonna have to have big bucks to get this young youth here.
I don't know. He come to Chicago. We might have something to, you know, he might want to come up here and find a wife.
I got a feisty one already. I don't wanna.
Okay. All right.
Matter of fact, his whole family is in the UNIA. His wife
she's a Garveyite, right?
That's right.
Oh, yeah. That's great. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to share. I didn't want to keep anybody longer, but I wanted us to come together, and I think we can really do this like what we discussed, and it can be really, really big. So next week, Monday, bring you all your ideas and suggestions, and let's make it happen.
Next week, Monday.
Yes, same time, 8 to 9:30. We definitely have to.
I will be in next week, Monday.
Can't do it Monday, President Ross. I can't do it Monday because
Yeah,
I'll be in the New York thing.
The panel discussion next week, Monday.
Panel discussion.
Monday's 20th. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't know.
The Founders Day.
Yeah, let's pick a different day, even if it's later on in the week. Whatever is good for everybody.
You want to do the Tuesday? Is the Tuesday good?
It's good because we have next week Tuesday. It would be good probably from 9 o'clock Eastern. I can probably make it.
Or Thursday? Is Thursday a better day?
Thursday is perfect for me. I don't know about everybody else.
Yeah, I'm good with Thursday.
Okay, good. What time we talking about?
Could be the same time. You know, what the other presidents? President Clyde, President Marora?
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
same
Thursday's
time you
better
met
for me.
today was good.
Next week, Thursday the 23rd? Yeah?
Yes.
Thursday the 23rd. Let's try to get all the presidents for the UNIM, the ones from Africa, the Caribbean, and the HEC. Let's see if we can get everybody to come on. You know, so we can probably even get the schedule if we get everybody to come on. As far as when the divisions are going to host it, you know. But definitely share this.
So we want to look at midnight to midnight.
It's up to you. It's up to all of us. Midnight to midnight. Yes, ma'am. The whole day of the 15th. And that way, everybody don't have to be there the whole midnight to midnight. Definitely
Yeah,
be your division hosting. But then this way, everybody can check in, even especially the people attending. They can come when it's convenient to them.
Oh, that's gonna be great.
All day, there's going to be programming happening on the UNIA for the 100th year.
Brother President, Ross, can I just say something real quick?
Go ahead, President Biden.
My wife, Lady President Biden, just made a good point about the midnight to midnight thing. She said that the ancestral Garveyites, the historical Garveyites, they stayed in that convention hall for 30 days straight.
31 days.
Talk
Yes.
about it. So,
Exactly.
so I know we can do something for 24. It's nothing. It's just a day.
That's
right?
right.
It's the 100 year. We never gonna be alive for this again. So we out here. We gonna put it together. We gonna make this joint rock. You see me?
And the more divisions that are involved, if we can get 24 divisions involved and each division get an hour, it ain't gonna be anything too much for any one division. So we gotta get all the division presidents and everybody involved.
So the MC would have to take a block of like 4 hours, and you don't want to overtax one person.
Right, exactly. So we're gonna have to rotate hosts and everything else and so on. We can have a co-host, and I can also give somebody the host. So we want to get some responsible people, like when it's midnight at our time, it would be good if all of us can be there for the first hour to kick off.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying? And we have an opening hour program, whatever we decide, libation and everything else, opening at midnight. But then we can pass it to one of the divisions that have daylight at 2 o'clock in the morning our time. They're in daylight, there's prime time for them to go ahead and do something. And as the sun go across, the host will be passed across the world so that we do the whole midnight to midnight. I think we can do this real good because the feature of each division, that's going to be real big. That's going to be real big. And if we promote it amongst in our jurisdiction and we get as much people to come on as possible, we're going to get people coming on board and joining and thing. And everybody think of performers in your area, speakers that we can have. We definitely would love to have. It's like we're responsible to have a Garvey speaker like Julius Garvey, Dr. Julius Garvey. If we can, anybody knows a connection to him, we definitely want him to be there. Because to have 100 years.
I have his number. I'll give him a call, see if it's available.
Exactly.
I have artists in Jamaica that could do something basic in Jamaica.
That's right. That's what
we have a couple people here too.
True. Because we don't want to have a 100-year celebration and we don't have a Garvey at the 100-year celebration. It wouldn't be a celebration without Dr. Julius Garvey or any of the Garveys directly from Marcus, you know? The important thing is we got to think of who we can invite to be part of the program so we fill up the midnight to midnight.
Okay.
All right. So any ideas, speakers, performers, drummers, and everybody got to come and give to the government. No, we don't want people who's going to say, well, you got to give me $1,000 and I'll come. No.
Right.
Everybody got to give.
Yeah.
Okay. But this was a very powerful meeting, and I thank you all. And I think we can do it because it's like we're all on board with it, and the time is right. Timing is right.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Right. So yeah. So yeah, I know we're going to wrap up, and we're going to first. So we have to try to get vendors that will do a little thing and pay and so on. So okay.
And we got to figure out.
We're gonna figure out something.
if we say an hour
Products. Mhm.
per hour, and we give 10 minutes in each hour for vendors,
Yeah,
we have 24 hours. That means we're gonna have 240 minutes for vendors.
right.
So we gotta think about how much we want to charge a vendor for 5-minute presentation in an hour,
Mm,
or for the 10-minute presentation.
okay.
I think President Clyde mentioned that this could be fundraisers for different things we have in the government, from the African Redemption Fund and
Right.
Liberty Hall and so on. So think about those things, so when we come back next,
Mhm.
we can even get those things more clear.
Okay, no problem.
Yes. All right, peace and love, everybody. I'm gonna
Peace and love.
pass the
Be
mic.
well,
Yeah, pass the
be
mic.
vigilant, and stay protected.
Pass the mic to President Marua, and you can close us out, President Marua.
One God,
One God,
one aim,
one aim,
one destiny.
one
One
day
destiny.
Africa,
for the
Africa, for
for the
Africans.
Africans,
For the Africans.
those at home,
Those at home,
those abroad.
those abroad.
Go in peace, y'all. Race first.
It's
It's
first.
first. It's first. Be well.
Yes.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.
I have the recording available if anybody